This is John for johngysbeat.com. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with an artist I just met fairly recently at C2E2, Enerjax. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know I've seen you at Comic Cons in the past, but somehow in the chaos of it all, I never actually had a chance to talk to you. So I'm glad I got a chance this year, and I'm glad I'm getting a chance now to learn a lot more about your art. So first, let me start with the beginning. When did you start drawing, creating, illustrating, and then when did you know, or how did you know that it could actually become a career for you?
Oh, well, I think like a lot of other artists, you start in elementary school, growing up as a kid, you see your favorite TV shows and movies. I guess X-Men would be one of the first fan art I started enjoy drawing in elementary school. And my brother had magic cards and I couldn't stop looking at the art. Um, my mom is also an artist. So there was just a lot of art going on in the family. But yeah, I mean, later on, I think I didn't really get into the deviant art phase. I know a lot of artists started in deviant art. I was a little bit late to social media. I guess Tumblr is where I started first around 2010, maybe. And I was just, drawing what I enjoyed and I didn't think anything of it. But once I started Instagram, I sort of began drawing original characters as well as fan art. And I was really, I guess, humbled that a lot of people enjoyed seeing the original characters that I would draw. Not that there was any story to them, but people wanted to know more. And yeah, it was very enlightening.
Well, like, where would you come up with the original character? Would you go to your art desk or whatever you draw on and just start drawing, or did something come into your head first and then you started drawing that?
Oh, well, I think right now I'm in a studio, but before I was just drawing at the kitchen table, which is really funny because that's kind of what I did growing up too. So I just bring all my art supplies to the kitchen table and I mean, a lot of times people lately with, cell phones, you can screen cap clothes that you like that you see or poses that you like that you see and you sort of practice with them and then combine them in different ways and it sort of creates its own personality at one point. So I suppose like with with the root of practicing continuously, you start to just kind of develop your own style and then you create characters that you want to see again and then you draw them again and people recognize them.
And how do you know when you're finished with a picture? Because I know I followed you on social media and I saw there was one particular picture you said you were kind of struggling, you kept going back. So how do you know when you're actually when it's complete in your mind?
Oh, well, one thing is time. Like if you run out of time, if you need something for a deadline, working in different fanzines or, collaborations, like once there's a deadline, it's like, okay, well, this has to be done because you don't have any more. Another is when you don't want to look at it anymore and you're just you're just like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm just going to post it. I think that the beauty of posting on social media is that if you wanted to post a piece in progress and you actually never end up finishing it, it's okay. And a lot of people, me included, I love seeing half finished pieces where one part of the piece is extremely complex and detailed and the other is totally it's you still see sketch lines and everything like that or base colors that people are trying to figure out what color to do. It looks really beautiful in that semi-finished process. So yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on what you like seeing when you take a step back.
And how would you describe your style?
I definitely have a lot of anime influence in my work. And yeah, I actually don't know how to describe my style. That's a tricky one.
I didn't mean to
I
throw you
know
a
that a lot
curveball.
of people who comment on my work, they say, "Oh, I love your style. I love your style." And I'm like, "Well, what is my style though?" I didn't realize
Well,
it looked like sorry, go
that's one of
ahead.
the reasons why I was asking you, because I noticed like you draw a lot of different things, and actually like one of your recent posts, you had drawn persimmons, and I know
Oh, yes.
you've drawn witches and you've drawn countless other things, and I kind of looked at it and went like, there's no like real thread. It's just kind of stuff that you like to draw. So that's why I
Right.
threw it out there for you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess the technique that I use is the same. So maybe in that aspect, it starts to look like, oh, okay, well, this is drawn by Jackie. and I'm trying to experiment with other, ways to create, but I guess ultimately I do a sketch and I finesse the sketch lines, maybe do a little bit of line art. So maybe in that sense, they all look like they're created by the same person.
And I know you use a lot of different artistic implements, inks, watercolors, whatever.
Yeah.
And a while back, you had, sometime earlier this year, or earlier last year, I should say, you had mentioned that you had found your love again for fountain pens. Is that, to me, that would seem a really hard thing to use for art.
Yes, it is. And, a lot of times with fountain pens, you have different sizes that you put on the pen holder. And I'm a little lazy of an artist, I guess. So I kind of stick with one size, which is probably not good. I need to work on that. But I don't know, just something about ink in particular is extremely fun. And I guess I should thank, the October challenges for getting my love of ink out there. I have a shelf full of different colored inks. I know a lot of people, when they think of the October challenges, they think black and white. And I'm just, I really wanted to use color. So I went to Dick Blick and I got, the ink vials with lots of like all the different colors I wanted to use. And people thought they were watercolors, but I'm like, no, these are really vibrant pigmented ink colors. And I just love how it works on paper because it's a little freeing in the sense that you can't rigidly control it like you do, with watercolor or even digital.
No, you've done several Comic-Cons, I know. Other than obviously trying to showcase your work and sell your work, is there anything in particular you love to see at Comic-Cons, just on a personal level? Or
Oh,
even professional?
whenever I'm walking around the artist alley, if I see a piece and I just go, oof, like, even if I don't know what it's from, I want it. It doesn't matter if it's from something I've never seen. If it's, I think like posters that have immense details typically draw me in, or posters that, convey an emotion that I instantly feel when I see it. Things like that really draw me in.
And now I know you say you don't generally do commissions. So the bulk of your income, I guess, would be from selling just your original art pieces, or do you
Yeah,
work for other
original, and I
companies?
have fan art pieces, prints, and I do my original pieces as prints as well. I'm thinking about starting a Patreon soon. I know a lot of people have suggested that to me. The reason why I don't do commissions is because I'm taking care of my kids. So I don't have a lot of free time. So I'm like, well, if I have some free time to create, I want to create what I want to create. So I'm a little selfish there.
Yeah, well, you have every right to be. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, your name Enerjax, where does that come from?
I think when I started Tumblr, I was sort of churning out just really simple, fun animated GIFs. Yes, I used GIFs. Um, and so, people were like, how do you have the energy? And I was like, ooh, energy, Enerjax, so I thought it was fun.
I thought it was cool. It's like kind of like a throwback to I don't know, like an older time where artists were kind of out there and just creative. I thought it was kind of really interesting because a lot of most artists just have the regular names, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then
Yeah.
yours kind of stands out, and really at a Comic-Con with hundreds of artists, for you to stand out, it was pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
And I have to ask you, I was reading, you gave me a little bit of your bio when I was reading stuff online. You actually taught in Japan?
Yeah, I took Japanese and art in college. And then after I graduated, the JET program is such a great program for people who want to teach English in Japan. And of course, the experience is unforgettable. I lived there for 3 years and then I
Wow.
came back here.
Well, that would explain maybe some of the, as you said, the anime influence in your art.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think the anime influence hit me in high school and it pretty much never left.
Okay. And I know you say you love to draw your favorite characters. So what are some of your favorite characters besides Persimmon?
Oh boy. Well, I did a lot of Fruits Basket recently. Hold on a second. Final Fantasy 6, a kind of old school Final Fantasy. I love drawing those characters. Yuri on Ice, My Hero Academia. Haikyuu. Yeah, there's a lot. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And is there any current project you're working on that you could reveal?
I just finished. Oh, I wonder if I can show you. I just finished this one piece that means a lot to me, actually. It includes a lot of
Wow.
video
Wow.
game characters and video games that I enjoyed. And then this was my cat growing up, Yoshi. He's the best.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Wow, that's pretty
yeah,
detailed. Wow, that's amazing. Is that going to be on, will we see that on your social media post?
it is, yes.
Awesome, awesome.
And in my shop as well.
So when you're not creating art, you're not taking care of your kids, what do you like to do in your free time?
I take figure skating. I wanted to learn how to figure skate. I'm not good, but I took it.
Oh,
So
okay.
once a week I get to do that.
Have you ever been at any of the outdoor ice skating things? Like I know Wrigley Field's got one, Rosemont has one.
Yeah, I used to live really close to Rosemont. So I had a pair of skates, and if you bring your own skates, you can just go for free, which was great. But I go in a class now. So hopefully maybe in a couple of years I can do something interesting.
Cool, awesome. Well, before I let you go, and I appreciate your time immensely. I saw you at the convention. I finally had a chance to talk to you. Like I said, I loved your art since I first saw it at a convention a couple of years back. Before I let you go, could you tell anyone where they could find you online or promote whatever you'd like?
Yes, I'm on Instagram at Enerjax, Twitter, Enerjax, Facebook, Enerjax, everything Enerjax is me.
So I get the feeling it's all Enerjax.
Yeah, it's all Enerjax. It's just Enerjax.
That's all you need. What else? What else could it be? Listen, I really appreciate your time. I again, I loved your art. I appreciate your time talking to you and learning more about you. And maybe down the line, hopefully, I'll see you again at a convention and we could do this again.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.